Man, I wish flying with a keyboard didn't suck so much. I wish I could just use a joystick and fly like a pro. But I don't have any space on my desk for it. And Chris took all my money. My bank account is empty. I have to find a solution to this. How to not be a Virgin Star Citizen flight keyboard user. Oh. Hey, it's Fran, and today we'll take a look at what I think is the best keyboard for Star Citizen and gaming in general. I was surprised to see that I couldn't find a video on this from any other Star Citizen creator, except for the Nubifier. So take a last look at your current keyboard, because in a few minutes you will want to replace it. As you can see, the Wooting keyboard looks like an ordinary keyboard. It comes with a detachable cable, a keycap remover, and 4 replacement switches, in case one breaks. This keyboard is very easy to disassemble, and it's even encouraged by the maker Wooting. But now let's take a look at what makes this keyboard truly special. When using an ordinary keyboard, you are limited to binary inputs, resulting in a clunky flat experience. You either have maximum thrust or none at all, so you end up constantly tapping your key to achieve a smooth motion. If you want to get around that, you have to invest in some kind of HOTAS setup. While it's a great way to fly, it also comes with drawbacks. You always have to switch devices when entering or leaving a pilot seat, since using a joystick for FPS isn't exactly ideal. Additionally, you might be limited by desk space or lack of money due to falling for one of those scam artists again. This is where the Wooting keyboard comes in. They use their own lacquer switches which allow for analog input. What this means is that the keyboard can simulate joysticks. Every key can detect how far you press it down, allowing for smooth flight control. Obviously, using a Wooting keyboard isn't exactly the same as a HOTAS in terms of control, but it is much closer and it improves on the vast majority of the usual drawbacks when using a normal keyboard. But using this keyboard doesn't just improve your flight experience, it also enhances your FPS movement. The keyboard allows you to customize the actuation point of each individual key, so you can decide if you want your key press to be registered after 4 mm or as early as 0.1 mm. That's 0.003 feet for my American friends, which is completely insane. I would not recommend setting it to that, because you will end up fat fingering a lot. However, the true killer feature for FPS is the rapid trigger. With a normal keyboard, after a key press, the key has to travel up to a certain point before it can register a new input. With Wooting's lacquer switches, however, you can release a key and press it again at any point, allowing for precise movement and a highly responsive feeling. All of the features can be customized in the very fittingly named utility software. A nice touch is that you don't even need to download it. You can just use it in your browser, make the change, and then save the profile to the keyboard. No need to install bloatware like with some of the other keyboard manufacturers. Currently, Wooting offers 2 types of keyboards. First, you have the Wooting 60HE, which is a 60% keyboard. As you can see, it is not really suited for Star Citizen, because it misses some essential buttons like the print key, which prevents you from fully participating in the main Star Citizen gameplay loop of taking screenshots and sharing them on Reddit. But if you really like the 60% form factor, you can freely customize multiple layers, and you can even set up the keyboard so that holding a button performs a different action than tapping it. For example, you can set it up so that holding the one key opens the Mobi glass. The second keyboard is the Wooting 2HE, which is a full-size keyboard and the one I got. As far as I understand, they usually sell them in batches, because production only starts when enough people have placed an order. As Star Citizen players, we are already used to handing over money for JPEGs of products that don't exist yet, so this whole process feels quite familiar, except for the fact that my keyboard actually arrived within 3 months after I ordered it, unlike some JPEGs sold by CIG. Oh, and also there's the Wooting for all you OSU players out there. If you mainly play FPS games and you don't want to invest in a HOTAS setup, I can strongly recommend the Wooting keyboards. They offer a nice compromise, allowing you to have more control over your spaceship without having to learn how to use another input device. It is super comfortable to just use your keyboard for everything, giving you the best of both worlds. However, if you're looking to be fully immersed in the game, then using a HOTAS is probably still the best option. While the Wooting keyboards provide granular input, they are not as precise. So if you have the space, the money, and you don't mind switching devices during the game, a HOTAS probably still is your best option. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. Please consider leaving a like if you found the video helpful or interesting. Bye!